Malawian boy. Okay. I don't even know if you can hear me, but bear with me for a minute. Yeah, you can hear me. Yeah, sorry, I just connected the mic later on. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. Yes, I'm shouting into the mic. Welcome to the show. Very excited today. Before we did this show, is winning the UCL important for Man City? I did a match reaction for the Chelsea versus Man City match that happened yesterday. We won 1-0, and it was a very difficult game. But if you go watch that video on my channel after you watch this one, greatly appreciated. And thank you very much, guys. We're almost on 1.6 subscribers. Just days ago, we were, I think I was less than a few away from 6. But maybe, as I said in my other video, the interactions on Twitter seem to have brought people here. They want to come and argue here in the comments, which is exciting. Well, as I say, on this channel, all opinions matter. That's the reason why I started this channel, and I welcome everybody to this channel. Whatever color you are, wherever you're from, whether you're a local, whether you're international, wherever you're from, you're welcome on this channel. Maybe even one day we'll get somebody who doesn't even speak English on this channel, but you never know. Everybody's welcome on this channel. As this channel says, it's where opinions matter. Let me just welcome the people in the comments. Bobby K, big up to you guys. Go subscribe to Bobby K's channel. Let me just see a few people. I don't know how to say this name, Carl. I don't know. How would you say Awais? Awais? Is it Awais?
Awais.
Yeah, Ashley, big up to you. All the guys with the channels in the comments, big up to them, and go subscribe to the channel. Daniel says, missed the first stream. Yeah, Daniel, it's fine. You can go watch it. It was a short 30-minute stream. I was supposed to quit for 15, but you know yourself, once we start talking on this channel, things end up staying longer. Twisted, big up to you. How you doing, Twisted? Hope you are doing well. And how you doing to all the boys in the WhatsApp group? Annie, Twisted, Josh, Anthony, Adam, big up to you. Veta Games, big up to you. Mancunian Way, big up to you. Everyone, Michael, big up to you. Hamza, big up to you. So let's start off this. How is your day, Carl, so far? I know you were busy this morning setting up a few things.
Yeah, so I put the kids on the bus, and now I'm sitting with my coffee, and I have about 30 minutes or so before I have to do my next meeting. So it's 7:30 a.m. here, 7:20 a.m. here, just for everybody's knowledge. 7:20 in the morning, and Patrick and I have been talking since 6 o'clock in the morning. Actually, 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 5:30. We've been talking about football. People think we only talk when there is negativity, or we only talk when we have to say something. We are constantly talking about football. Even in the evenings, we're having conversations about other teams, about Pep's tactics. And I sent you a very good tactic video. Watch it after this. Amazing stuff. And we're gonna bring back that. We're gonna bring back a few programs. We're gonna bring up the lineup show. It was a lot of people loved that, and we're gonna bring back the tactic show where Carl does tactics. That's probably his show. I just ask him questions and Carl
Patrick,
responds. Yeah,
the interesting thing about that video, what you showed was, I coach kids right here. I have 3 different teams.
Mm.
And last season, we won all our games. We played 24, won 24, scored about 8-something goals, conceded like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
We played a 3-box-3.
Yeah.
Which is what Guardiola is doing right now. He's playing a 3-box-3. And it's been choppy, but it's been successful. If you put the right players in the right position, the 3-box-3 is almost impossible to beat.
Yeah.
Almost impossible.
Mm.
So when Patrick talks about all these shows coming up, I admonish you to please watch them, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot we're going to talk about, many things we're going to talk about coming up this season, because we believe that this year something special is happening. We want to be full ride on to make sure that you guys enjoy it.
Yeah. So let's just welcome McLovin. How you doing? Hope you're well, McLovin. I hope everything is well, and welcome all of you guys to 2023. We are going to continue a few shows, as I said, that were favorites for most people, viewers. The tactical show, the lineup show, which were favorites for people. And we on this channel, we just randomly sometimes talk about things. So the conversation we want to have is winning the UCL Champions League. UCL or Champions League, whichever you call it, important for Man City. So I'm going to put this as a question here, Carl, so that people can, so you can start it off. First of all, Carl, yourself as a City fan, right? What you've seen recently from the club, do you think winning the UCL is important for us?
100% it's important. You do not buy Erling Haaland to win another Premier League or an FA Cup. You just don't. Yeah. Anybody who thinks that you get a Erling Haaland just to win another Premier League or to win 3-peat or win an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup, I'm sorry, guy, but you're wrong. I respect your opinion, but you're wrong. You don't bring a guy whose wake-up tune, his ringtone is the UCL anthem, and expect that you don't want to win the UCL. Now, are we going to win it? I don't know. I believe we will. I believe we will this year. I believe so. I don't know why. I just feel it in my bones. I could be wrong. That's fine. But it is 100% important that we do cross that bridge. We were there in the final, Patrick. That final was ours to win. And so it is super important. Good morning, Michael. Michael is up at 6 a.m., guys. 6 a.m. in the morning. 6 a.m. in the morning. Michael, go ahead, brother.
What we on this morning? We're talking about the Champions League.
Is it important for us to win the Champions League, Michael?
Very important. It's really important. That's priority number one. That's the curse we need to break. The stronghold we need to get over.
The stronghold we need to get over.
Oh yeah, we need to cross that bridge now. It's about time.
Jesus Christ, your microphone sounds like there's bees fighting in your microphone.
Me?
Yeah, there's a buzz. As when you talk, there's a buzz like bzz, 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 bzz.
Let me fix my headphones.
Yeah, it's probably your headphones.
I think the key, Patrick, what Michael is saying is that yes, we want to win the Premier League. Yes, we want to win another one. But he said one thing: it's time. It's time. It's time to break the stronghold. It's time. If it's not time, what's the point of qualifying every year for top 4 and winning the league? Where's the ambition? Where's the drive? I mean, maybe it's a generational thing. I grew up listening and watching the great Champions League teams: Barcelona, AC Milan, right? Inter Milan, Juventus. As a kid, watching those guys, drooling. I grew up watching more Champions League games than I did Premier League and FA Cup games, because that was available. That's my DNA. So for my club, let's get it straight, for our club that we love to be in the conversation and not to expect us to drive to try to win it, I can't get my head around that. I just can't get my head around that. To say, okay, one day it's going to happen, that's not important, F UEFA, I don't get it. When I hear that anthem, I get goose pimples, I get tingles. My ringtone on my phone, right, is the Champions League anthem. So when I'm at the office and it goes off, people turn their heads. I mean, what do you want me to do? You
Yeah,
want me to say
I just
no? Leave UEFA F off, boo the UEFA, and
no,
then no.
I think we have to dig deep into this. I think it's not just a matter of some people have got a different opinion on it. I think sometimes when you're looking at these things, it's good to dive down in the history of this. I think the bitter relationship between UEFA and Man City, especially for locals, I think it's what drives some of them to say "f this league." I think that's where it comes from, because I think they haven't, some haven't let go of that, which is fair, because at the end of the day, Man City and Chelsea and UEFA were not seen eye to eye, and UEFA did not like us. And it was quite funny to me when UEFA, after we beat them in the court thing, after Man City was banned and unbanned, it was quite funny to me to see the UEFA original page tweeting about Man City that, like, well done for being the first ones to back out of the Super League. I think that's when I saw a bit of the first time UEFA and City, something positive happen. More positive to see the Ballon d'Or being won by City, where you're saying we're being favored by these organizations. But if you look back in the days, I think these organizations were out to get City, and it's true. It is wide open that they were out to get City. And I think that's when the whole relationship went sour, and it was very sour, let's be honest, because some of the refereeing decisions were a bit dodgy at times, to be honest,
Right,
against City.
I agree.
But that's yeah. Go ahead, Mikey.
Because it's the organization, okay? You gotta understand now, Pep Guardiola is a huge figure in football. We never had Pep when we all started. You know what I mean? So that respect wasn't there. And they only had respected, like, the traditional clubs, United, the Liverpool, and so on.
Fact.
So now we got to come in. I know we have the best manager in the world, and we have some of the best run business personnel in the world. They ain't got no choice but to respect us. You know what I mean? Because the top agents want to work with us. The top footballing body, they want to, show the game at our stadium. So I think, again, it was a bridge we had to cross, and we did. But I don't think he had nothing to do with that. Why we can't win the trophy? For me, it's the mentality of the players. We don't have that. It's like when I was crying out for Messi and Champions League players to come to the club. Maybe they're older, but it's not a case that I'm trying to replace them with game time or so on. It's the mindset I want in the dressing room. Because when you have those kind of figures in the dressing room, the younger players don't have no choice but to believe that they can win it.
To believe.
You know what I mean? You want to rub them. You want to rub that off. So when I was like, hey, like right now, I would be like, hey, go buy Modric. Not because he's 37, or because no, just bring him in the dressing room. Because when the players come in and see him, I know that, hey, Modric win 5 Champions League, and like, you know what I mean?
Well, Michael, to your point, Michael, think about United, right? Casemiro.
Yeah.
Casemiro.
Come on. Right now, I believe every midfield at United right now respect Casemiro because
Yeah, of course they do.
Even if he's not the best, they just probably walk even and be like, "Hey, where Casemiro at? You know
It's
what?
the mentality.
Let me eat us his table."
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. Like, come on. We need a pedigree.
Well, Patrick, and listen, I get it. I get that, the local fans and many fans hate UEFA. But you do understand that in the Game of Thrones, sometimes the worst of enemies become the best of friends.
Yep.
You do understand. That's how life works, right? Nothing's ever binary. Sometimes the worst of enemies, Game of Thrones, become the best of friends and allies. Why are we crying about a thing that happened years ago when we are in 2023 with the manager, with the players, and we're still saying, oh, UEFA did X to us, we hate UEFA? Who thinks like that?
One question. Why do the locals still boo the Champions League champions? Why? Like, I'm watching the game and I'm like, hey, like Leverkusen, Dortmund, Madrid coming in town. No, it's not the time to waste no energy on booing. No, it's the time to be like screaming on top of your voice.
I don't think that will ever stop, because I can give you an example. There's a team in my country that hates the Malawian Super League, and they still boo every time the league starts. Look, for me, at the end of the day, if they want to continue booing like the local fans, I respect that.
Right.
It's
That's
up to you. It's your right. It's your right to boo. But what we're talking about here is I just wanted to bring back a history that the history between Man City and UEFA was never great. I remember at the beginning it was never pretty at all, and some of the ties were iffy. Carl, some of the ties I remember when we get drawn.
Let me give everybody a history lesson here, right? Before Barcelona won their first Champions League or European Cup, which by the way, Pep Guardiola was in that team against I believe it was Sampdoria. Barcelona were hated because they weren't the King's Club. Real Madrid were the King's Club, right? The King of Spain. It was his club. They were hated. They were despised. Nobody gave it. UEFA cheated them time and time and time again. And look now, Barcelona are one of the big boys because they began to win it. They began to believe it. They began to like it. And all of a sudden, they became an institution. Then they got Guardiola to take them to the next level. Right? When are we going to switch from being this, I'm a little guy, I hate the big boys UEFA, to say, we are part of this club. We are part of this institution. We have the best coefficient for any club in England, in Europe right now. Coefficient, top of the pile. Not Liverpool, not United, not Chelsea. We are. Why? Because we're there every year in the UCL for 10 years straight.
All I can tell you is this, and as I said, there's no insult to international fans, no insult to local fans. As I said, I did the explanation at the beginning just to bring out the reason why the anthem is booed, because of the relationship between City and I think a few things UEFA also did in there. I'm not going to mention them. I know what they are. Did triggered a lot of fans. But there's a good comment in the comments. Let me just read McLavin. Winning the UCL unlocks a new stratosphere for City, not only achievements but recognition. And then there's another comment here by Daniel. Big up to Daniel and McLavin. It's not only about Haaland, Carl. Our owners want Man City to be the best club in the world. We want the best club in the world, yes, and we have to be the best club in the world by winning something prestigious like the Champions League. It's just how it is. I'm sorry. That's how it is. So you can't be the best club without winning the UCL. We have Guardiola and expectations to win this Champions League. Yeah, we have to have an expectation. Let me read another one. Unfortunately, guys, debates will only end if Pep wins the UCL. Now people like Klopp can chat to Pep. Yeah. So now let me read this. Watch these fans who boo the UCL anthem celebrate the trophy. That's what happened at Chelsea. Because Chelsea used to complain that the UEFA cheats them. They used to say, "Oh, you cheated! The refs are dodgy." When Chelsea just got a sniff of the UCL, Chelsea fans went to another level. They now are hungry for the UCL. What I can say is, I have noticed. I remember the first time when City won the FA Cup, there was a hunger for trophies. Then that's when the thing switched. There was a bit hunger for as Mikey does squats. We will continue. CJ, welcome, welcome. Well, CJ, welcome.
I can see Michael putting in the work there,
yeah,
man.
he's putting in the work, man. Man's putting in the work.
6:30 a.m. 6:30 a.m.
6:30 a.m.
That's good, man.
Man's out here doing
He's on
squats.
that. He's on that January motivation. I'll see him.
Yeah. So go ahead,
Yeah.
CJ. So what's your thought? Is it important for Man City to win the UCL?
It's very important, man. As you know, as a City supporter since I was a kid, from South Africa, I'm grateful for this club from actually, achieving this type of heights. Because I actually didn't expect them to be this consistent in the Premier League, but at the same time, I didn't expect Man City to actually be there in the Champions League, to be in contention. Now, for the fact that in our history we have had a coach like Pep Guardiola. There's no complacency, especially this season. There's no excuses if we don't win it. We have all the right pieces. We have a prolific striker right now, even though Gabriel Jesus was also a good striker. People have been using that as an excuse that we haven't been able to achieve much because of that. But we have a key player like Haaland now. There's no excuses this season. It's very important. We have to win it.
Yeah, we have to. And let me just read this. It says, Pano, is it funny how Sky posted net spend and City bottom since 2016? United and Chelsea surpassed City. Yeah, I saw about that. I even saw about the fact that even the net spend merchants Liverpool, the net spend is actually more than City. It's quite funny that City is the only one who gets hit by this stick. But look, some people have started opening their eyes. Nobody cares about net spend anymore these days. Nobody cares because
if I may give an analogy of where this whole league and tournament. So every year I've had a great team, right? And we always win the league. in my U14. We won the league, win the league. But we always fell short in the tournament, which is like the Champions League for us, right? Get to the final, 1-0 penalty, bad luck, right? And while we were telling ourselves that, okay, we won the league, deep in our hearts, we knew that we were not the best because we didn't win the Champions League. Now, this year, right? Semi-final, we won the league, got the quarterfinal, round of 16, beat 2-0, 2-0. We got to the semi-final, it was 0-0, it was penalties. We got through on penalties. I will tell you, it was the hardest game we ever played. It was so, but when we got to that final, Patrick, I knew we were going to win it because my players had that mentality, that suffering, that belief that now we're in the final of our Champions League. If we play well, we win. Won the game 2-0. And now there's no question who is the best team in that age group in our division. No question. There's no debate because we won our Champions League and our league. And what was more satisfying for us was the win in the Champions League than it was in the league because we won the league many times before. These are U14 kids. Talk about these professionals in Europe's biggest competition. You're telling me that they don't desire, they don't want it, they're not disappointed? No, it's time. It's time. Again, you do not bring Erling Haaland to win another FA Cup or Carabao Cup, or dare I say another league. You will bring him because
it's a mentality thing, you know. Like the mentality will change. It will switch. Just watch. I've seen this before. I've seen it from Chelsea fans, Barcelona, everything. The same way as Madrid, they're just so switched on. It changes, and I don't blame people right now with that downplaying the Premier League, the Champions League, saying, when it comes, it's not our bread and butter. I respect people for what they're looking for, but I think it's just the fact that I've been seeing this. I think it's also one of the ones that are going on Twitter. Apart from the Jack and Mahrez debates, this is one of the things that whenever it comes out on Twitter or social media or in any place where you are, it looks like it also becomes one of the hot topics. But what I wonder is this: when people are going face to face on this topic, nobody sits there and just accept that maybe I love this more than you do, and we can just accept and carry on and be together, isn't it, CJ? It's like maybe if somebody says,
agree to disagree.
Disagree. Because at the end of the day, if I say, what if I came out and said, you know what, Pep Guardiola has only won one FA Cup. I don't care about how many FA Cups we've won as a club. Pep has won one. This season, I want an FA Cup and the Premier League. I want an FA Cup again. At the end of the day, I'm just the FA Cup merchant. That's what I am. Maybe that's what I want. But to be honest with you, I think me and Michael have agreed on this, that we don't want any Carabao Cups. We'd rather see a FA Cup, Premier League, and Champions League together. I don't want to see that Carabao Cup again because FA Cup against Pep, it doesn't mean great. Remember every FA Cup, even the one Arsenal with Sanchez. When Sanchez came on, we were winning 1-0.
The problem, my guy, my friend, the problem is they'll call you, say you're a spoiled fan. That's the problem. Because you expect, that's what they'll say, you are spoiled. You're spoiled. That's the problem.
I don't care.
You know, for me, Pat, I want my club to try and win every trophy that's possible in that season. Possible. You know, it's not. Look, it's look, man. The Premier League, for me, I'm convinced it's the most difficult league right now to actually win. I'm glad that we've been consistent on it. And the other trophies as well, you know, even though it may seem easy that, you know, we're able to win it, but they're also difficult in their own way. You know, they are demanding. But I want my team to win every trophy possible in that season. It's not easy. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it not. But I'm pretty sure that's the objective that each club has, especially if you're a big club right now as City. And, you know, I'm happy that we have these type of standards now, you know. And I think the direction that we're going at, we shouldn't drop it. We should carry on. You know, keep striving for more. Keep trying to attract new talent, and you know, plays in our academy as well. They see the type of standard that we have now, and they're aspiring to be that way. So Patrick, I'm happy, man.
CJ mentioned two things. He mentioned standards. I'm happy with the standards that what we now have. These are the levels, guys. When you see people complain about Jack and about Mahrez, it's not because they hate Jack or Mahrez. No. It's not. Because we know what the standards are. We know what the standards are to win the Premier League. And yes, Arsenal have been fantastic, but Arsenal have been fantastic because we dropped our levels. That's why.
And Gundo, for me, I don't fully, disagree when people criticize Jack and Mars because at the same time, they basing their, opinion on facts. It's not like as if they come out and just throwing hate on Mars and Grealish. They're looking at the stats, and they're looking at the GA, and they're trying to, in a way, not heavily criticize them, but motivate them in a way that they could do better. You know my perspective on it is that these type of players, Pep sometimes he does have to play them. Players need to be played even if through their rough patches. And I'm glad that Grealish and Mahrez did connect well in that last game. That we actually, when we need a place to depend on, and they were there. I'm grateful for that. Obviously, we can all agree they need to do more of that. And in my own personal opinion, I agree, man. With the other side of the coin. I don't like have maybe like an agenda that I push, but I do see that the other side's points of view in terms of Mahrez and Grealish.
Well said, CJ. Well said. Pat, are you there? No,
Well,
CJ. I think you're right. I mean, again, it's the standards.
Yeah,
Right? It's the standards. That's the standards. It's like when your brain is used to a certain standard, anything below that is like an anomaly. You have to almost reset
yeah,
your.
yeah.
It's
And
hard.
people try to push back against that actually. That when you're used to a certain standard and people are trying to um how can I put this?
Oh, CJ, why do you
Um
think? And Mike, why do you think billionaires want to make more money, even though they have $1 billion? Why do they want 2 billion?
it's their expectation to make more money.
Expectations.
It's the expectation that they have for themselves
It's
to make more
expectations.
money.
it's at the standard. The level is high.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to the panel, man.
And Patrick, maybe see, I went to Santiago Bernabeu, and I'll send some pictures to you, Patrick. Maybe you can share on Twitter. And when I walked to the Santiago Bernabeu, and I saw Real Madrid's trophy lineup, you have
Ooh, wait.
when you see those
It's
Champions League that they have,
it's pain. It's pain. It's pain. Have
That
you seen
that
them?
that that
see,
must
for me,
have
it
been a
wasn't even
sight.
pain. For me,
That must have been a sight.
it was more like, wow, this is the standard that we're trying to achieve. Are you following me? Because I went for a tour. I went to
Yeah,
Barcelona,
yeah.
Madrid. When I walked into their honor halls where they have the UCLs, and you see all the trophies, Champions League, you're saying to yourself, wow, this is the level we're trying to achieve. So for people to say, no, we don't care about the European Cup or the Champions League, in my mind, it's like, what are you talking about? This is the ultimate. It is the ultimate. Anybody who says it's not the ultimate, I'm sorry, kid. you are. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I don't agree with you.
Right. This is how I would put it, right? Let's say you have a child, right? At first, a child can't crawl, right? After a few months, and then the child becomes stronger. Some may crawl quicker than others. Others may take longer, right? Then the child starts crawling. Then the next sense of progression is to walk, right? But then ultimately, you want to be able to run, right? Now the thing is this: if you can't say I'm quick if you can't run. That's the thing. Hence, I'm saying it's a thing of whereby eventually you're gonna have to get to a point whereby walking is not sufficient anymore, right? And to a place like a point quicker in time, you'll need to run. Now you can't say no because let's say for example you injure your leg, right? And these are the blips which will be, let's say you injure your leg, that you will say no, I can't run at the moment because I'm injured. Not that I can't run because running is useless or is not needed. And that's what people have to understand, that those are the expectations that come with progression, right? It's fun to be like, no, you know what? Let's just you can't just say no. Let's just be happy that our child is walking or our child is crawling. No, expectations will increase as you age and as you grow, and you grow in part of your progression. So people have to come to terms that, you know what? To say you are elite, you need to do what elite clubs do, and that's how you will be judged, right? Hence, I always speak about this thing of era. Once you're in that once you're in that era of domination, trust me, that's when you have to win everything that's there to be won. Because once you pass that time, then it would be, oh, if only we done this and if only we done. Man, let's be real. In our hearts of hearts, we all know that the next thing for us to do is to win the Champions League. You may try to be in denial, just so you can brag to your friends like, you know what, we never really wanted it, but we all know that no. There's a reason why people cry when what you call this here, when Spurs knocked us out from that Lorente handball, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah. Why did people boo? If nobody, like, at the end of the day, this is my thing is, don't smoke. If nobody cares about winning it, why were they booing after the win? People want it. It's just the fact that I think once one person says, "Oh, whenever it happens, it happens. It's a league game. It's luck." Guys, do you know that even the Champions League can be won by strategy? It's a plan. You can sit down and strategize that, guys. I know in the league we play a 4-3-3. I think in the Champions League we're gonna play a 4-4-2, and we're gonna play this formation and sit back and soak pressure and just hit people with the counter and be effective. So go on, don't smoke.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, right, there's an element of luck to win everything, right? You can't tell me us scoring 3 goals in 5 minutes, there wasn't elements of luck when we beat Aston Villa. That's just life. But at the end of the day, sometimes you need to create your own luck, right? And don't always blame when things don't go your way, right? Because even with us, we know most of our exit in the CL is of our own doing, right? And at a point in time, you have to put luck aside and just say, you know what, it's like Liverpool. They beat, I'm not Liverpool, I mean Madrid. They beat Paris when they were playing shit, right? Come back. They done the same thing against Chelsea. They've done the same thing.
You see, the thing is, for me, it's the mindset. You see, just like what you said about us coming back against Aston Villa. Bro, it's the mindset. You know why Madrid came back against us? It's the mindset. They believe not until the last minute or the last whistle is blown, when the game is over, they know they still have a chance to win. And it's because City been winning the league back to back to back. They have it in their mind. Like, it doesn't matter. Until the last minute, we can win this. They came back against Aston Villa and they secured the Premier League. Now, in the Champions League, that's what Madrid did to us. They have that pedigree and mindset. I believe that not until this last whistle is blown, we know we can win it because we have done it before. We have done it before.
I mean, this comment by Twister here. Twister says, winning the UCL without winning your domestic league proves nothing. I'm sorry, Twister. I don't agree. Winning the UCL makes you champions of Europe. Whether you like it or not, whether you disagree or not, it's just a fact.
Is it? I think isn't he trying to say that sometimes you can? Let's say, for instance, City never won the Premier League and they kept on winning the Champions League. I think you still have to also. But the thing about it is, we're coming from winning 5 in a row, or no, 4 in a row, or few of them in the last few years. So I think that's where we're more stronger. That's why I think the next step is Champions League. But I say, imagine a team that was doing horrible in the league, always finishing 4th, but always were clocking Champions League. Would you respect that team?
Well, let me project 100 years forward, right? Let's say in 100 years' time, City wins 60 Premier Leagues and 0 Champions League. Is that a failure in Europe? It's a failure. It's a failure. And you had Guardiola for the next year.
I really hope it doesn't happen, man. I really hope it doesn't happen.
I hope your juju is not strong, Carl, because what you have dropped.
Hey, bro. Bro, maybe we can have some strong juju out there, bro. You never know, bro. I really hope that doesn't happen, bro.
These are the arguments that when we argue this thing, it falls on its face. I know it's sentimental. I know it's emotional. I know that there's a hint of fear. I get it. But to expect that with Guardiola, Erling Haaland, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Grealish, all these guys, that you cannot even win 1 UCL in 10 years with Sane, Sterling? Nah, brother, I'm sorry. With the investment that you've made, it's time, guys.
Yeah.
Demand it.
You know, Carl, to add to your point, we're literally running out of excuses now. to be fair, man, like there's no more excuses.
When you run
in the past, in the past, we've been saying, we've been dominating England, but at this point right now, we cannot keep on saying that. It's not enough. It's not a good argument for not winning the Champions League right now. we're at a standard where we have a squad that can do it. Last season we had a squad that could do it, and the season before that we had a squad that could do it, and we didn't do it. But at this point, I just think there's no excuses.
Right.
My hope. I
Go
have to
ahead.
run through. I have to run through. My hope is that all the failures and disappointments of the past this year, with the addition of Erling Haaland and the experience of Pep, somehow we would get over the line. And I'm seeing signs of that. I'm seeing signs of that in the group stage when we went down to 10 men. How we controlled the game, right? We only conceded one goal in the group stage, I believe. One goal. We are so controlled in the group stages, so controlled. That I'm thinking, hey, maybe
it was the game against Copenhagen, right? That was a very good game.
Yeah, maybe this is where Jack will come through with his control. Maybe this is the game where Mars will come through. Maybe we're learning something for all these experiences, and maybe this is it. This year we have Madrid and Liverpool. One is going out. We have Bayern and PSG. One is going out. We've beaten Chelsea twice already. We've beaten Liverpool already this season in that performance. One is going to go out. All of a sudden,
Waiter's in the background, Patrick.
That's true, Carl. I completely agree with you, brother, on that one. I really do, man. Yeah.
Now, let me give a quick analogy, right? Imagine, let's say you're a self-made millionaire, right? Like you came from the rags, right? You make then now a couple years running, you've been making millions, right?
That's
Now,
City.
logically,
That's
wait. Logically, the next step is to make $1 billion. But you're like, you know what? Because of my humble beginnings, right? I don't think it will be good for me to have expectations of becoming a billionaire, right? Now, Patrick, what would you say to such a person?
You a fool.
lack of ambition. It's lack of ambition.
What about my humble beginnings? But I'm from humble beginnings, though.
I said this in the Let's Talk City thing that I know and respect everybody, and I know where the club came from, with the club's history. I know it. They're very humble, nice people, and it's where it's coming from is we were in the mud. Things are in the mud. Things were painful, and everybody's humble. But I was saying sometimes the issue is this: whether you like it or not, when success comes to the club or comes to a place, you can ask other fans from other clubs. Yes, all the plastics will run in, all the young kids will come in. Like right now, I was telling people in my other stream when I said, let's talk City, before you guys join in, Don't Smoke and Cow, I said, at the end of the day, right now, when I came to Ireland 10 years ago, I was literally the only one wearing a City jersey. Because when I came from Africa, I was the only one wearing a City jersey around. Everybody was in United, Liverpool jerseys, Celtic jerseys in Ireland, that's what they like. Spurs, I could even see Spurs from somewhere. Kids would wear Spurs jerseys, even though Spurs doesn't do great. But now, Don't Smoke, I'm telling you, for the past few years, kids are buying Man City jerseys, are wearing Man City training kits. I don't see CR7 jerseys anymore, Messi jerseys. There's less of them. Now it's just City training kits. Or when you go to a football match, a lot of City blue everywhere. So these kids now, whether you like it or not, these kids, some of them might be the ones who have Twitter accounts and you never know you're arguing with. A lot of kids are becoming City fans. Now it's a matter of you guys to think that these kids are growing up in a generation where they see, oh my God, look at Madrid, 14 UCLs, even though they've never seen the other UCLs, but that's all they hear. All they hear is Champions League, or all they hear is winning. And now most of these kids are young. I was looking at some kid, he's 17, he was born in 2005. I was like, my God, this kid was born in 2005. He's 17, and they were born in 2005. Guess what? He's been seen from City. This guy is from one of the Eastern European countries, and all he's been seen from City is win. You get it?
Yeah.
So that's all he's seen. So are you telling him saying that he's 17, he's on Twitter, and he's saying, oh my God, we lost today. Damn it. And you go to him, it's like, oh, I'm telling you, if you try to humble this kid, it's not going to work. Because in his mind, since he was born, guess what? Since he was born, it was City win. So all you do, that's why I accept it. When I find a kid who's 17 or this age, all I say is, fair play. I get it. Just calm down next time. Don't get overexcited. Look at the history of City. That's what you do, but don't beat people with this.
You know, for me, Pat, I could relate to what you're saying, brother, because
Mm.
you know, growing up in South Africa, bro, you're gonna meet a lot of Man United fans, a lot of Liverpool fans, a lot of Arsenal fans. You know, there's those type of fans because they've been seeing those type of teams winning, winning, winning. You know, and that's the reason why they actually ended up supporting those teams. For me, you know, because of this underdog story that I felt attached to this Man City club, you know, I never expect them to reach this type of heights. I'm grateful for the history, you know, that we've created, for the memories that they've given me, you know. Even like last season, the 3-2 win against Aston Villa, it was actually on my birthday, you know. I I hated that day and I loved it at the same time because I thought we were not going to win the league and I actually lifted, you know, the league on my birthday, you know. Um, like for me, I've had some great memories at this club. I'm grateful for it, but at the same time, we have to be accustomed to this new standard that we've set up for ourselves. You know, where the direction of this club, where it's going. You know, this season, you know, we have to win the Champions League. That's a standard that we've set for ourselves. You know, that's one trophy to actually, put us through to the next level for this club. You know, but looking at our history, we've got to be grateful. You know, and actually use that as motivation. You know, to actually do better. You know, and
CJ,
I'm
you from
just
South
happy,
Africa?
man. Sorry?
You from South Africa?
Yes, sir.
Likewise, whereabouts? I'm from Johannesburg. Not
It's a
from
good.
you were?
It's a good.
That's where I was raised. Durban,
Yeah.
Westville.
Where's Vili? Do you know
Yeah,
how much
yeah.
did?
Many
Me too,
reunions
guys.
happening right now.
I'm from Cape Town. Yeah, I grew up in Cape Town.
You
Big
from
up.
Cape Town, bruh?
Yeah, I'm from
Damn,
Cape
guys.
Town.
Do you know where Hammersdale is? Hammersdale.
I know I'm a day. It's in Natal.
I'm
Natal.
joking. I'm from Texas.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still thinking, man. With that type of accent, how are you from Cape Town? You know? But yeah, yeah,
Probably a tourist in Cape Town. Now, I want to say this, right? This is the best analogy how I give it, right? Let's say you grow up poor, right? If you grow up poor, right, it's easy for your parents to tell you no, right? Because it's more like, oh, whatever you ask for, they're like, "No, we don't have it, right?" Now, the thing is, let's say you make it in life, and then now your kids ask you for the same thing as you used to ask as a child. Saying no becomes hard because it's hard to justify why you're saying no when the kid knows that you can give them that and their friends also have that, right? And that becomes the issue, and that's where I think you have the issue, the collision between the old fan base and the new ones, right? Because the old fan base will know the poverty, right? Whereby the new fan base has seen the success and they see the capabilities. So when they're asking you for something, it's something that they know you can give, the club can give them, and their peers as well. Because you must remember, most friends, it's the standard of living will be adjusted also by the circle they're around in. Like, no, Dad, why can't you get me a PlayStation? Right? You probably earn more than my friend's father. We have more resources more than my friend's father. Why can't you get me that? Then now, as much as the thing is, you can't say no, we don't have, because that was what was told to you, and it was the truth. So
Don't smoke. Yesterday evening for 3 hours from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. I was coaching about 35, 40 kids who are all wearing City jerseys. All of them. U12,
yeah,
U10, U8, U6. All of them. Next to me, and the next field was Liverpool. So these kids who are 10, 12 years old, they know nothing apart from winning.
yes.
They haven't known anything apart from winning. What am I supposed to tell them? Oh, back in the day, they used to be really terrible, so you should humble yourself.
No, you can.
No,
That's what I'm
see,
saying. You can tell a kid about history. Veta, I'm gonna pass the mic
Yeah,
next to Veta. You can
yeah,
tell the kids about history, but what I'm saying is, don't try to hit them with that stick. Like that's
God.
why that parenting never works. Like saying, "Oh, how dare you? How dare you?" You know what I mean? Like I told people, I was like, "Guys, calm down." Some of these, it's until I recognize myself, I also calm down these days. Is some of these 17-year-olds were born in 2005. They're not our age. We are old now. These are kids. They were born in
You
2005.
know,
So ever since
you
they
know,
were born,
Pat,
all they're seeing is winning. When
you
you
know
go
what I
see
appreciate,
CJ
Pat. You know about this.
after CJ, you can pass the mic to Fed after CJ. Go ahead, CJ.
Okay, I'm just gonna be short. What I do appreciate about this new generation is the fact that, they're the ones, maybe who, if I should say, they are cocky, about their history, and it's basically, passing the baton to the next generation of City supporters, because it's always gonna be that way, they're gonna be ones who actually appreciate the journey, and they're going to be ones, who are just going to be raving about the success that, we're having now, and that's just part of football, just like, Chelsea, they in the past, Chelsea fans, were appreciative of their own journey, to winning the Champions League, and now there are just some of them who are just raving about it, saying that, yeah, we've won the Champions League, City has not, and all that, and yeah, our time will come, our time will come.
Veta, go ahead. Veta, go ahead.
Yo, respect to all of you guys, and I had to wake up, brush my teeth, rinse my mouth before jumping on. It's now 8 o'clock out here, but I've been enjoying the show since 6. I think I hear all the analogies with regards to Champions League and the next level for us as a club and for some of us as a fan base to grow to. But I think where it's interesting is when we talk about generations is the next generation always want it sooner. The next generation always want things quicker. If we want to take our time, we remember when things were shared via printing paper, then the radio, then the black and white TV, and the TV that you had to change by getting up out of your chair and changing the dial, to the color TV, to remotes, to then TV on demand, to like things get quicker and faster, and the next generation want it like that. They want it like that. Now the Champions League is a competition, and if we're going to be honest with ourselves, it's supposed to be the most elite competition. There's no I'm going to give this to my fan base, because you have to earn it. And the Champions League, I would argue that the club they haven't pursued this Champions League as the we're not invested in it. The fact that they've invested in so much of the infrastructure to make sure that this club is sustainable is to be successful long term, including the Champions League.
Correct.
So I'm not looking at the fan base in itself or looking at the club to being like, no, they don't have ambition. They don't want to become billionaires. They don't want to give the fans what they want. But this competition, if we're respecting it, if we're saying it is as tough as it is, there's other clubs spending money as well. There's the Barças, there's the Bayerns, there's the Real Madrid, and yes, Real Madrid have 14, but there's a spell where they spent crazy for their Galacticos and didn't have the success that they want. So I see where the club's going, and where I don't go nuts is, oh, it's another year of failure. Oh, no, let me stop, because I'm not going to say failure, but it's another year of no Champions League. It's because I know that the club is pursuing it. And yes, the older generation will tell the kids to calm down. There was a time where you weren't getting TV on your phone. Not everybody had that type of device, and recognize how good things are, but also know that we're going to. I'm trying to get, using the analogy, Don Smoke, I'm not only trying to give every kid the chance to get whatever they want, the PS5, their own phone, their own iPad, but before I do that, I got to give you one first. And I've got to give you consistency first. I've got to give you consistent EPLs first, while I'm also trying to get you that UCL. And I think we're getting there. The younger generation don't want to wait, and I get it. All they know is winning, but the young generation that became City fans only know winning, came to us as EPL champions repeatedly. They became fans not because of the UCL. They became fans because of the winning. And we're getting to the UCL, but it's not what's the term that often they want to say, like throw the baby out with the bathwater? It's not that. We're getting there.
Yeah,
So,
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I completely agree with Veta, bro.
I don't disagree with you. The only comment I would make is you've won 4 of the 5. It's time. Are you following me? I mean, if you
Carl
don't
has been saying it's time.
have the ambition, right? If you don't have the ambition to embrace where we are right now and say, we won 4 of our 5. 4 out of 5, we won it.
Not easily.
If not easily, but we won
Yeah,
it. If
yeah.
not for Liverpool, we'd have 5 over 5. Right? That's crazy in England. It's time.
But to be fair though, Carl isn't all here. Then he also wants it sooner, you know.
Right.
So
The teams that have won the UCL recently have not been better than us. They've not been better than us, player for player.
No, they haven't. They've been
Yeah.
trust me. Can I just ask the panel a favor? Let's not bring in the PTSD from Leon and them. But let's just just say about the clubs being not better.
To answer Twitter's question, Patrick, real quick, is buying Haaland a blessing or a curse? How can it be a curse when you have more points, more goals than you had last year? How's that a curse?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
most
there's no way.
people are getting it getting it twisted in the sense that we only started playing bad once our injuries came in, like with Laporte. And there was a point even with Haaland we were flying. So
Right.
and Veta, the thing is this, right? I think the issue is not the club's ambition. It's more of the fans' denial that it's a valuable.
That's the issue.
You understand? We know, and that's the funny part. Like the club is showing you that no, we want this, but then there's a sense of denial in the sense that no, we don't really when we know we want it, and I think that's what we're calling out. And regarding the kids, what I was trying to imply is the fact that you don't have to give your kids everything, but you can't use the same excuses or reasons that your parents used for you when you're poor, because it won't correlate with your new situation. You can't say that is my main point. That yes, you can still deny them, but you need to come up with valuable, reasonable excuses that make sense with your current or new situation.
Don't smoke.
Yeah.
Guys, it's like
Okay.
PSG. The fans hit the UCL and the board want it. Let me tell you what, Carl Blundell, that's BS. You know why? When they win it, trust me, they'll love it.
He's trying to give an example that something similar that you find PSG fans have never won it. They also do the same thing. So yet the board are openly wanting it.
It's called inoculating yourself from failure. That's what this is, right? When you win it, right? Trust me, you will want it more than anything else again. Oh, I guarantee you. So this idea that PSG fans, no, they hate it because they haven't won it. If they win it, golly, I'm telling you, you will never hear the last of it. You will not hear the last of it. European champions of the world, you won't hear the last of it. So let's be clear.
No, you won't.
You won't hear the last of it. You will
not. They were actually singing us yesterday. Did you hear that? Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. They were singing it yesterday in the Chelsea ground. I was like, oh my God, even Leeds United were singing it. Even them, they're just singing it to
us. Aston Villa will sing it. Northern Forest will sing it. Why? Because they're the champions of Europe. You haven't got that. And there's nothing you can do about it until you win it. So let's be clear. Let's not be pretentious or no. Let's be clear. It is the premium competition in world football, apart from the World Cup. And you have to win it with the squad that you have right now. Whether with this year, I don't know, but you have to go for it. Because once you go for it, you kill every argument from United fans, from Chelsea.
Carl, when you say that, do you believe that the club hasn't not been going for it?
They have been going for it. I'm talking about the fans. I'm talking about this argument.
I think he's trying to preach for a shift in mentality, saying a lot of fans say that I don't care if it happens, as long as it happens.
The club has done everything possible to win it. Trust me, they have.
Let me use this analogy because this is what I see from.
I think I do get Vator's point though. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me use this analogy, and I think many of us on the panel, maybe all of us on the panel will get it. When you've had a level of success, but you haven't been given the recognition because you need, I'm going to get killed for this, but you need European validation.
Of course you need
the fans, pardon me?
You need European validation.
Veta, let me be honest with you.
Yeah,
that's a very interesting topic.
Yeah, look, whether people like it or not, this is the thing, Veta. if you look at me years ago, obviously I didn't join. People think the time I joined Twitter is the time I joined City, but I never had Twitter. I had Facebook. If you go to Facebook, I was the most annoying young City fan on Facebook. I was annoying as hell, even at the point where right now
Explain. What do you mean annoying? Annoying in what way?
I mean, like, because when you're young, when I was younger, I was on Facebook. I never Twitter was there, but I never got into it, so I never even knew. Like, people should understand. I'm from Malawi. I remember I heard BBC saying there's gonna be a new app called Twitter. I was going to school then. It was a long time ago. It was on the radio, so I never really went into Twitter. No, with the internet in Malawi, you'd rather have Facebook that time.
But you were annoying how, Pat?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean? Oh, no,
annoying?
no. I mean, I was coming after everyone. When we win, I would tag you. You'll be tagged. You know what I mean? You'll be tagged. Pictures of me, of young me, are on Facebook. Folders, albums with pictures. We're saying you never want to take the
Patrick,
L.
hold on. Are you telling me that you were targeting and trolling on Facebook as a young City fan, or were you provoked and reactionary?
Oh no, it was the thing of payback, because most of the friends I had there were United fans and Liverpool fans. So back in the days, they were dunking. So now I was like, your time is gone, and you guys.
Yeah, that's like many of us getting killed from Liverpool.
Yeah, and United. So this is what I'm trying to say. If you look at times like that, and now that time I was satisfied when Pellegrini wins. Pellegrini when he won the Premier League, Mancini when he won, satisfied with the FA Cup. That time, in my mind, let me be honest with you, Champions League was never in my mind. I used to feel inferior, that it doesn't matter, let's just make it. And when I see Barcelona, I'm trying to give people the mentality shift in my head right now. When I see Barcelona, I used to say, oh my God, Barcelona, why? Right now, for the past years, give me Barcelona, I'll be like, yeah, bring them on. We'll go toe-to-toe. Do you get what I mean? Back in the days, I remember Bayern. I was like, the Bayern game, we won the other one with Aguero scoring, but the Bayern game, I was like, oh my God, Bayern. And I used to sweat, like, oh my God, it's Bayern. Like when the whistle starts. Now, when I see Bayern, if we picked Bayern right now, I'll be like, it's calm. It's a game. It's 50-50. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Things have changed. We're no longer...
But Patrick, that's not... Patrick, that wasn't just a mentality, though. That's also the strength in squad that's improved over the years.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying now we are capable of eating at the table with the European giants.
I remember, Patrick. I remember.
But you know what? I think both of you guys are actually correct. Man City has been trying in the past seasons. It's not a lack of trying. They've been investing. At the same time, we're at a mentality where we can actually not be too nervous when we're playing against the big teams who've actually won the Champions League.
CJ, I remember,
I think that's
For me, the switch came. I was in South Africa for work. It was 2017, 16. It was City versus Barcelona at home. It was Messi, Neymar, and what's his name? Messi, Neymar, and what's his name? Suarez. 3-1 City, De Bruyne, Aguero.
Yeah, I know Messi scored first. And
no,
I thought that was it.
Wasn't it Barcelona against Mamelodi Sundowns?
Yeah, I was in Johannesburg. I was in a hotel in Johannesburg. I will never forget, with my colleague, went for a conference. I was watching that game, and we won 3-1. I took a bottle of wine, cocked it open, and said, my expectations have completely changed now. Completely changed. You've just taken on the most feared front three in world football at their peak. At their peak. And you literally taught them possession-based football, right? Completely ripped them apart 3-1. In the Champions League, not the Premier League, in the Champions League. Why shouldn't I expect more from my team? And we've improved our squad since then. And we've won 100 points. And back-to-back. And 98 points, and beaten the most feared Liverpool side of all age to the title twice.
And we beat that Barcelona team with Otamendi, Zabaleta in the back, while Zabaleta was already going towards the end.
Why shouldn't I expect more from my team in this competition? Why should I expect more when City's coefficient in Europe is number one? They're number one in terms of coefficient. Why? Because they're always there for the past 10 years.
We were the best club last. I remember.
For me, man, the only thing is that this season we literally have no excuses. That's where I'm standing on. Like, if people are going to cook us, they will cook us if we don't win it this season. Because we've been winning. I mean, we've been losing by 5-0 to Liverpool in the Champions League. losing to the likes of Monaco. I'm not gonna bring up all the teams, but like we need to win. We need to win the Champions League. Like it's a need right now, and not a want. It's a need especially for the history of this club. That's my perspective on it. But yeah,
I think
it is what
where
it is.
I think where it does sound, it's interesting on how we hear and perceive things, because I don't hear the fan base saying that they could care less about it, but I do hear the fan base protecting their hearts from, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't mean we're not successful. That's what
It's
I
the
hear from the
trauma.
fan base. It's the
No,
Go ahead, Patrick.
no, you go ahead. I was about to
Oh.
say that you're right. You're right. I was like, preach.
Yeah, I was just like, because many of the fan base, it's just guarding themselves. Like we kind of heard this analogy
Yeah.
before. It's like the guy that's maybe, or the girl that's going to pursue the guy, that's going to pursue the girl, and they're going to make it seem like, no, they don't really have feelings for it. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Like we want the Champions League because we want to continue to show that we're one of the best clubs, if not the best club in the world. And we understand that you got to continue winning. But there is a portion of the fan base that, yes, they have been scarred, because at some of our, let's not forget, the year that it got messed up with us pursuing our Champions League dreams up against Spurs. In the back of the club's mind, they're also dealing with that fraudulent UEFA FFP case.
Yeah.
So we're pursuing something at the highest level, while at the same time there's a portion of the club that's then divided, thinking, how are we dealing with this FFP? So when you have fans that are booing it, they're booing it because they're looking at, like, look at the treatment that we're getting here, right?
And also way before that, there was a lot of treatments with fees for City being made to pay fees. Why it's
exactly
the bad baby somewhere else. Yeah.
There was a terrible. Sorry, Carl. 1 second. There was a terrible coincidence that whenever it came down to crunch time Champions League, there's some FFP or UEFA nonsense luring with City's name in it.
And I hear you, brother. I hear you. But my counter argument to that is two things. In the Game of Thrones, many times your worst enemies are your best allies. Things change very quickly.
Wait. Calm down. Are you actually quoting the actual show? The show? Are you quoting the show, or you're just saying that as a?
No, it's life.
I think he's quoting the show at the same time.
You're quoting the actual show. The actual show.
I don't know if it's actual quote.
No, he's giving an example.
Yeah,
within the show. You see that
I've done business with my
Game of Thrones. You see the play of fights there.
I've done business with my fiercest competitor, and we succeed together. And after it's over, we go back to being fiercest competitors. It's life. Before Barcelona,
but with matching priorities, or matching
exactly. Before Barcelona won the European Cup, they were the despised of Europe. They hated them until Guardiola and what's that guy from Netherlands? What's the orange head guy?
Cruyff.
Yeah, Cruyff, and there's another guy, Koeman.
Richard
Until Koeman did that. Yeah, Koeman shot that goal against Sampdoria to won the European Cup the first time. Guardiola was on that team. And then everything changes. Because now they're in the club, they're in the big, they shook hands. Okay, you've gone through your initiation, your hazing, now you're in. Life is like that sometimes. So we just have to make sure that we're there. And we want it, and we keep pushing, and we keep pressing. We don't say, oh, we didn't win it this year. It's not a failure. We go again, and we go again until we get it. So Vader, I agree with you, Vader. I think everything you're right. Everything that's been built so far has been building up to success, and it will come. But what I don't accept, not from you, but from some people, is this idea of, oh, they hated us in the past, we're going to boo them, oh, we're going to do this, we hate them. Then why watch competition? Stay at home. Stay at home. Why get Erling Haaland? Why get De Bruyne? Go get Mickey Quinn, or what's his name from another club.
No, that doesn't allow you to still have the success within the EPL that you still want. So let me bring this analogy, and maybe it connects, because I think my European validation one didn't hit.
So many analogies today, Rachel.
Yeah, that's what happens in the morning, right? After
so many analogies. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing this one.
So we we've been successful. We want to continue to be successful.
Mhm.
Some of the fan base look at the Champions League, look at the UCL as a Grammy. They look at the UCL as an Emmy. They've had success. The fans are there. They've been cheered. Whether it's sold out records, whether it's been box office in theaters, they know the success is there. They've seen the fans turn out. They've seen the success that happens domestically. They know they're good. Do they need that Grammy? Do they need that Emmy? Because they also know how that award is given out. It's not necessarily given to the best.
They do need it, Veta. That's my
No,
argument.
but this is what I'm saying. There's some artists that could care less about it.
I hear you.
No, so I'm just speaking. There's a portion of the fan base
I don't think that's necessarily a Grammy.
Go ahead.
Whether the actors hate, dislike the Grammys or the Oscars, if they don't get it, trust me, it's just you didn't get it. When they get it, trust me, they have a long ass speech, because oh my God, this year, thank God,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, Carl. I agree with Carl.
It's validation from your peers.
Yeah.
Validation from your peers.
You hear me, Carl?
Yeah.
So Baker is saying Drake is doing beatle numbers and still tell the Grammy to F off. That's what Drake did. Drake ain't got no. What Drake got? Drake cuts the Grammy out, but yet still he doing the Beatles numbers. So he's basically saying, do he need the Grammy to get that kind of recognition? Does he?
No, but
I think that's his point.
That is my point. There's a portion of the fan base that don't.
Can I ask you guys this?
No, but Veta, this is what I'd like to say.
In regards to the Champions League, can I ask you guys this? Would our club be complete without the Champions League?
No.
No. We have to win the Champions League.
Even the manager came out 2 weeks ago and said it. If that's not validation of the expectations of where we are, nothing else will be. The manager himself said, if I don't win the UCL with City, it will be a disappointment to me.
To add to your point, Gundo, I think one thing which people don't understand is this: Guardiola is a manager who's won the Champions League before.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
So his definition of success.
It's twice as a man. Is it twice as a player, once as a man?
Once as a player.
Twice as okay. Sorry, I got it wrong. Twice as a manager, once as a player.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I see you, Pat. You're doing that Pep Guardiola meme. I see.
Right. So the thing is, to Pep knows that he knows the levels, the heights of success, what it means at a club, especially an elite club. The reason why Barcelona fans respect Pep is because he won them 2 UCLs, not because he won them two leagues. Don't lie to yourself, guys.
That's 100% correct.
You understand? So he knows.
100% correct.
For me to be held as of high stature at an elite club, hence that's why they don't respect him at Bayern. Ask Bayern fans about Guardiola, they'll be like, because of what he done, we could have done it with any other manager. Because at these clubs, winning the ultimate prize is the Champions League, because they consider themselves elite clubs. So it's a question of, do you consider yourself an elite club, right? If the answer is yes, then the expectations are already set for you. It's not your opinion.
Smoke. Let me just look at let's look at our rivals, for example, Chelsea Football Club. I have a lot of friends who are Chelsea fans. I respect them tremendously. But
whoa, Carl! You said rivals.
Yeah, calm down, Carl. Calm down, Carl.
You got to rebrand them. You got to rebrand them.
Hey, Vader, I have a lot of brothers who are Chelsea fans, but I have to be careful as I walk into a landmine.
I hear you. I hear you.
But let's take their case, for example, right? They're in serious trouble. They're in. I mean, this Enzo Fernandez deal, why do you think it's stalling? Because they ain't sure they're going to win. They're going to get to the UCL next year. And if they don't get to UCL next year, all of a sudden, FFP comes calling. And what are they going to do?
Yeah, they're negotiating the fee. I heard they agreed the 125 at first. All good. They were going to just pay it. Now they came back and said negotiating the fee.
You know why, Patrick? Because of the position they're in. They're 10th. There's no guarantee for top 4, and there's no European games next year. There's no revenue. How do you justify your expenses based on lack of revenue? Oh, and by the way, your wage to income ratio is over 100% already. Are you following? Well, for us to be there every year, so Chelsea have to win the UCL to get to the UCL next year. Now, is Potter going to win the UCL under Chelsea? Unlikely. So it's
no.
But
Carl, no. Sorry, CJ. I want to answer Carl.
Yeah.
Carl, let me before I throw it to CJ. Carl, I want to tell you this, Carl. Chelsea Football Club never ever to say they want, especially when they're down under. They're just like that. This is what they do, Carl. They suck badly. They'll do bad, and then they'll go to the every time they've won the Champions League, Carl, they've been horrible. They just go there and just fluke it. They just fluke it and win it somehow. So I know what you're saying, but trust me, they can fluke it.
You see, Patrick.
You know, Pat, I was about to say the exact same thing, Pat, because the fact that Chelsea has won the Champions League, that gives them enough weight in an argument that if they do badly in the Premier League, you can't discredit them in the Champions League. 100%. You know, they still have that in
exactly. Because of the institution of Chelsea Football Club. Are you following me?
Yeah.
The mentality of the mindset that, okay, we may not do well in the Premier League, but once we get to the UCL, we know how to navigate this thing because we've been
against Bayern for that matter.
You see, the best evidence of this is us. We're going up against Arsenal, right? Imagine if we didn't have the pedigree of going on unbeaten runs, right? And then a team is 7 points ahead of you. What do? Right? People must understand that with certain achievements comes pedigree or a certain mentality. Is that why you can have a bad season in the Premier? And the thing is, I wouldn't even call it fluking, because if you've won something more than once, it's not fluking. You can just say, no, there's that belief in the team that, no, we are Chelsea. We've done this before, and we can go against the odds.
Also Madrid, yeah. Or keep on going.
Yes. And that's what we do in the Premier League. So the thing is, the same principles apply to in the Champions League. At the end of the day,
good point.
You can say whatever you want to say. A team that's won the champ, because you must understand that Europe is not made just of England. That's what people must understand. When you're European champions, it means you're the champion of every country in Europe.
Yeah, loyalty. Yeah.
Exactly. Same thing. When you're the champions of England, it means you're the champion of every county or city in England. And with that comes respect.
It's time. It's time. We got to get it now. I continue. Who's that speaking? Dancing?
Yeah, it's Bro,
it's time. Like, I'm tired of this. You know, and the thing is, even if we win the Champions League this year, you know what's going to be the Liverpool fans and the Manchester United fans and the Chelsea fans argument?
You only have one.
Yeah, I only got one. You know, then the argument going to change. Then we're going to have to win another one to try, shut them up. Like, bro, but it's time. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of
Mike, the funny thing, Mike, is when you win that one, the fear that you can win two is now going to be significant amongst Chelsea and Liverpool.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that thing where they say your favorites can actually mean something instead of putting as favorites and we've never won it before.
Yeah,
exactly.
I say this all the time. How can we be favorites every year? Every year, City's favorite. It's the culture.
You see, right now, we might as well be favorites.
Exactly, Michael, man. Every single season, bro.
Yeah, right, Don't Smoke. What did you say? Don't Smoke. Don't Smoke was right. Carabao Cup. We're favorites to Carabao Cup.
No, I'm saying right now we might as well be favorites for the Copa Libertadores in South America as well, because it means nothing.
So guys, I might not be able to do this. So just the final part. I don't know. Maybe I will on Saturday if I have time. But I might not be able to have Mikey, who's driving in his SUV, and all of us here. So I'll start with Carl. Carl, how do you see Sunday? And you know that Rodri went down, and I think he's injured.
I don't know if he's injured. I think they just changed it. I think he had cramp. But we'll see what happens. I mean, for me, Sunday I want to win it because if you win it, you've beaten Chelsea 3 times, you've beaten Liverpool. That translates into the Champions League again.
Those Chelsea kids looked. I was talking in my other stream. Those Chelsea kids looked hungry. They were coming for us.
And so let's play our hungry kids too.
We sold them. We
Let's play
sold them. We
Let's play
sold them.
our
Yeah,
Alvarez.
but Patrick, even if Rodri is fit, he's not gonna start.
He's not choosing.
Is Calvin Phillips gonna play?
Yeah, he has to play. Calvin
Yeah,
has
we
to.
need to see Calvin play.
It's time for Calvin Phillips to step up. I don't want to see Rodri Sunday.
Yeah,
As good as he is, like give Rodri a break.
Mikey's right. Mikey's right. Give Rodri a
Time for
break.
Calvin Phillips to take up the mantle and be like, hey, since I've been here, show us the fans that you want to challenge Rodri for the spot. Not just to be a deputy.
He was excited, wasn't he? When he was coming on, he was smiling. I was like, the man's smiling. What about you, CJ? What do you think of Sunday, man?
Could you repeat that, bro? Who?
CJ, you. What do you think of Sunday? What do you think of Sunday, Chelsea versus Man City for the FA Cup?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be a difficult game. I'm expecting Chelsea to actually learn from their mistakes, you know. But yeah, I'm still going to back my team, bro. I've been, preaching about these young kids, man. The likes of Cole Palmer, even though McAtee is on loan as well.
He's doing great.
Out
He's
on
doing
loan
great
as well.
on loan. He keeps
We
getting
shouldn't
man of the
write
match,
off these kids too early, because look at Rico Lewis, exactly.
Rico Lewis.
I've been talking about these players because we're a club that's used to buying players, even though that does give us success. At the same time, we should try, to nurture these players and actually give them those few minutes on the pitch. Maybe not the whole 90 minutes because they're still trying to break through. Just those few, minutes, just to prove themselves. And look at what Rico Lewis is doing right now.
Can I
guy,
say,
bro?
CJ, listen, Walker has a problem. And the problem's name is called Rico Lewis. If you watch that game yesterday,
Yesterday.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Can I say one thing though, Carl? Can I say one thing
Oh
though, Carl?
my God.
One thing, Carl. I wanted to say one thing though. Pep even said it again in his interview.
I
And he
was
looks
just
like
about to talk about that.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do it. I think he's gonna do it again. I know, Pep, you listened to us saying play Cancelo as a right winger, but Pep, next time you play him as a right winger, play the normal formation. We want to see him as a winger with the four at the back properly. Don't play him in this formation you did. Your box down the middle. Then Rodri was a fourth DM and a centre back. Play Cancelo because even Pep said Cancelo can play as a winger, and we will. I feel sorry for him that in this game he didn't do that much, but I think I'll try him again. I think he's going to try him again. Maybe it'll be in this game, in the Chelsea game. If Cancelo gets played as a winger, play the normal formation, please.
This Pep Guardiola guy, bro, he likes to play mind games, bro. I see this guy.
Yesterday
he's saying that this is what the fans wanted, and and he's putting in a formation that he used against Liverpool, and it didn't work out, and he's saying that it's what the fans wanted. This guy is playing mind games, bro. But don't smoke. Uhlala kephi uphethe wesivile?
Yazi le ndaba bayibiza Clear State.
Kephi?
Clear State.
I think we've gone to the language now. Is that Zulu? Is that Zulu or what language is that?
Oh yeah, my bad, guys. I'm just it's Zulu. It's Zulu, bro. Yeah. Zulu. Yeah, I just wanted to know. I just want to know like where he lives so that we could actually connect if he does live at Westville.
No, he's in the group. He's in the group. Check him in the group, in the True City Fan group channel on Twitter.
Okay, no problem. No problem, bro.
Don't expose your locations. Then tons of fans will show up at your house. Relax.
I'm a no-show there.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, bro. We're not billionaires. We're not billionaires.
No. So regarding Chelsea, I want Palmer and Alvarez, right? Whatever happens, right? I want to see Palmer, right? And I believe first off, had it been Palmer instead of Foden, you'd have made a better case, right? Rico, a few streams back, I said I forgot the game where I think it was the first game he played, Rico, in the Champions League where he scored, and I was saying there's no need to play Stones or Akanji as a right back when this kid was there.
You said it. You said it. You said you've been preaching it.
I've been saying it, like the kid can play, and that's why I was shocked because Pep normally he always trusts in academy products if he believes you're good enough to come to the first team. He'll throw you then and see if you can
Did
handle
you hear
yourself.
the interview? He says the kid has changed 3 games so far. That's what he said. And the
No,
kid
that's
is
the
good.
truth.
He says the kid is good in midfield, and he gives Rodri support and De Bruyne and Gundogan or Silva the space to operate. These words I'm looking at when you were saying those words,
Patrick.
I was like, Walker, you might be in water here.
No, Patrick, put everything aside. There's one attribute that I like about Rico, and that's courage, right? And that's all we ask from all players: courage. Palmer shows courage. Whereby, hence I'm saying, like, even when we used to bash our wingers, we never used to bash our wingers because of what they would do. We were just saying, have the courage to take the man on.
Yeah, and be consistent.
That's all we've ever asked for. Not you to do whatever you want, but have the courage to play. And Pep has always shown it. He sees which players have courage to ask for the ball.
Did you hear Jackie's interview? Don't smoke. I'll let you finish. He said when I was on the bench, Riyad Mahrez was warming up because Pep told him, and I think I didn't hear Pep also say, Jack, go and warm up. Then Mahrez came back and said, Jack, what are you doing? We are getting on. Then he's like, oh shit, we're getting on. Then he starts dressing. But he says Pep said to him and Mahrez that I want you guys to be aggressive. I want you guys to go out your fullbacks. I want you guys to be wide. Because I was wondering, I was like, why is Mahrez and Jack wide? Why are they running towards the winger? So now I'm sitting back when I sat down because I've been going back and forth with Mike. I sat down, I was like, is it Mahrez and Jack who are cutting in, or is it Pep who gives them those instructions that cut in and try to keep the ball? Now I'm between two minds after what Jack said that Pep told us this game when we were getting in there, guys, I want you to run at your winger, at your fullbacks, be aggressive, and make sure you don't cut in. That's what he says. I'll send you the link.
You see, Pat, from what I've known about Pep, he always says wingers stay up and wide, right? And then what you do with the ball, hence I always say, what you do with the ball is up to you. Hence I'm saying most of the times when these guys don't take players on, it's a lack of courage. Because you can say whatever you want. Mahrez always tries to dribble. Not that whether the dribbles are successful, but you can't tell me Pep that tells Mahrez not to dribble. Mahrez dribbles every time. It's up to the ability of the player and the courage of the player. That's why you see when Palmer's there, Palmer tries to dribble. That's why when I see Foden with the ball and he just passes back, it's because that's the easy option. Same thing with Jack.
But think about it. Foden's natural ability to glide past players. He had that natural. When I saw him yesterday, I knew it was tactics. I was like, bro, Pep telling Foden, play the safe pass. You know, like play the pass. We want that extra pass. Give us that extra pass.
No, Mike.
Switch.
No, Mike. Pep may tell you don't lose the ball, right? There's a difference between don't lose the ball and be static or do nothing.
But I'm going off that because over the past few games, everybody been on top of Grealish. Like, drive out your player. You're not fruitful enough. No, at the end of not Chelsea game, but the game before, Pep was telling in his interview why he telling Grealish, why he played Grealish over Foden, because he wanted the extra pass. Now, when I saw the game yesterday against Chelsea, the same thing Grealish been doing is what Foden was doing. Just getting the ball on the wing. Cesar Azpilicueta get a safe pass in the first half against Foden, and Foden have the natural ability to just go past you. And I'm like, why is Foden playing the ball backwards?
And he only did it once. And Foden only did it once. You saw that, Mike. He did it once where he got the ball and he leaned on Azpilicueta and spun him, and only did it once. Yes. But you're right. The whole game, what Foden was doing is
back. And I'm like, that's
and that's not the Foden. And that's not the Foden we know. I don't know.
And that's not the Foden we know. So that's the point I'm trying to make. So with Grealish, and I'm like, it's the same tactics. Play the safe pass to Ake, to Rodri, and then we switch the wing. I give it to Kevin De Bruyne so he can find the space. And I'm like, bro, this tactics, man. Like, let the players be, especially Foden. When you put him on the left wing, just let him be. Let's let him drive at whoever and just swing some ball in the box towards Haaland. We have Haaland now. So there's no excuse as to why you can't swing some balls in the box. So
I think Michael, bro. For me, Michael, I've been saying that these kids, are going to save us a lot of money. Obviously in the future, it won't stop us from actually spending, our money on new players. But I think Pat, you were here in one of the few.
trust me, CJ. Yeah. I I am a youth merchant. Just because it's just
Yeah,
that some of my youth were sold away. I didn't like Edozi leaving and Lavia, but to be honest with you,
true, true.
Rico
Yeah,
went underneath my radar. I don't know, understand how I did not
yeah.
see the Rico kid. He's just come from nowhere, but go on.
No, don't get me wrong. For me, I wasn't fully in on Mustox and Rico Lewis, but my faith in our academy, has greatly, improved in my perspective, and that is why I'm saying that, we shouldn't, lose focus on our academy. These kids are going to save us a lot of money. The fact that Rico Lewis is 18 and fitting well into this team and in big games for that matter. He's coming through to the midfield as an inverted, right back. He's getting the job done. Great ball control. The vision is there.
Bruh, how good,
Maybe
how good. Oh no, can you finish up before I continue?
because the thing is, maybe the maybe the only bad thing about him is that he's short. Maybe
Come
that's
on,
bad. But
Roberto Carlos was short. Lamptey is
hey,
short
bro,
from Brighton, but he plays
Philip
Roberto
well.
Lam,
Carlos, bro,
Philip Lam
Roberto
was short
Carlos
too.
is fit, man. Roberto Carlos was fit, bro.
Nah,
Like the guy,
this kid is
like
winning physical duels though.
Bruh,
You saw that, CJ. He's been not pushed
yeah.
around.
that's exactly my point.
How good is
You know.
Rico Lewis on the ball? He's very
Because
good
at
on the
times
ball.
you see the thing is like Pat with my takes. At first they do seem a bit controversial or seem out of the light, but it takes time for them to actually be seen by other people as well. Because even Cole Palmer, he had a bit of a good game against Liverpool, but I've been seeing this guy, in the Premier League too, where he's been, scoring goals, the free kicks that he's been scoring as well, the long range goals, the vision, the passing. It's going to take time for him to translate that to the first team setup. But I have faith on this kid, bro. There are still some out on loan,
Yeah,
but we're going to see them.
I'm a big Palmer fan too. Like I'm a huge Palmer fan. Like I love the dude.
Yo, Patrick.
I mean, I know a WhatsApp group. Carl keep talking about Musiala. That's his name. That's what you call his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy from
But
Bayern.
I'm telling y'all, Musiala is not better than Palmer. I said this all the time, but y'all don't believe me. The only difference is Musiala get more game time. I'm telling you, if Musiala was at City, he would have to sit on the bench because he can't get in ahead of De Bruyne or Gundogan or Bernardo. He would have to sit on the bench. So this is the point I'm trying to make. Musiala, in terms of natural ability, is
I,
probably the
I I
same,
don't
but
I don't
he's
want to
not
be
better.
that controversial.
But he just gets more game
I don't
time.
want
I'm
to be
telling
that
you.
controversial.
2 more years, you're gonna see. 2 more
But
years, you're
that's the
gonna
thing.
see.
That's
You're gonna see.
Michael, you do have a point though, to be fair, man. Because what the difference though between the talent of Musiala and Cole Palmer is the game time. Because
Game
if
time
Musiala maybe
says
wasn't getting the same type of game time, he wouldn't be
exact
this prolific player
exactly. So
that we know
because he
now.
can go out game by game and show his artistry, and you see the little trickery, and he can make some good pass and do some good goals. Palmer doesn't get that. Palmer get 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes.
Yo,
You know what I
Patrick.
mean?
Patrick, I have a feeling that you will see Rico in midfield before even a Foden.
I think you will because what he said. Let me say it in the interview. Do you know what he said, Mike? He says the kid has changed and this is the key word,
Three
guys. And
times.
I want you guys to listen to this. I think that's
Three
where there's
times.
trouble. There's trouble in the squad. I think we don't know. There's a bit of trouble. He
There's
says,
trouble in paradise.
yeah. Listen, there's instructions that he receives and he's executing them right. In that way, we're having balance and things are looking. Says Rico is making everybody look better now.
Exactly.
The last time I heard that was Foden, long time ago.
Yep.
But I've never heard it this deep that Rico makes everybody look better. Now you must remember this. Rico is 18. Doing this, you're saying this in a dressing room full of pioneers, few big
Superstars.
boys. So what's going on here? What is he trying to do, Pep? Because I don't know. Is this a good thing to do? To throw Rico like this as if, oh, this is my pet. This is the teacher's pet. He's
Yeah,
doing well. This is like an insult. Some people might take it as
No,
an insult, maybe some player. I don't know.
Patrick,
There's
it may
still
go two ways.
it's a rabbit out the hat. You pull the
One
rabbit out
later.
the hat, man.
there's still a test that I have. I love the talent. I love the ability that I'm seeing from Rico, a very young player. But there's still one test that I need to see him take, and I need to see him have an excellent passing grade against. And that is what we've all loved and demanded of Walker whenever we come up against some of the big teams is on his side of the pitch against a tricky, very pacey winger.
Enter Human song. the ultimate city killer, Hyun Min song. I think that's what you're looking for.
You know,
No, Patrick.
I think
That's the next
I
test.
think this
That's
is
the next
where
test.
I think this is where I agree with Don't Smoke on the point that maybe we're gonna see, Rico Lewis in the midfield rather than actually being consistent on the right wing. Because I feel like right now, given the fact that he's still a kid, just 18, physically he's not strong. The pace that he has given us glimpses of what he could potentially offer. Because do you remember that tackle that he actually had against Salah?
That was
He
amazing.
was able. He was
He was the
able,
last
even
man.
though,
That's a
even though
tackle
like Salah,
Cancelo couldn't make.
yeah,
Yeah, Cancelo
Exactly.
a red card.
That tackle.
exactly, and it was a
That was-
counter-attack. He was defending a counter-attack. The kid was a bit shorter than Salah, and I'm pretty sure Salah is stronger than him. And I think Salah just needed one touch, and then he would have been gone. But Rico Lewis, being smart as he is, even though he's still a kid, he knew what he had to do in order to make sure that Salah doesn't get what he wants. And that's the potential that I'm speaking about when it comes to Rico Lewis. Obviously, we do need to see him against Song or Mbappe. Maybe that's where he could truly prove himself.
Only one player
but-
can control Mbappe, and it's Kyle Walker. Okay.
That's
And
Walker.
if we
Yeah.
play PSG,
Yeah.
Kyle Walker. You see
No, Patrick.
Mbappe.
That's experience right there. That's experience.
Mbappe in the World
You know,
Cup.
you see, Patrick, regarding the scenario that you spoke, right? I feel it may go two ways, right? It may go down two ways. The first way being that the old folks, right, being Cancelo and Walker, be like, no, we're not gonna have this, and we're gonna prove.
No. Okay, so the 4 tire.
What thing? Okay, and they say no, we're gonna prove ourselves that we are still the elite players that we are, and then it means that they step up their game, right? Because that's how competition goes.
Yeah. So
It's either they're gonna rise to the occasion or they're gonna throw the towel, right? So that's what we're waiting to see. For example, like what happened yesterday? The two experienced fullbacks, right, get removed for the younger one. So it's more. It will show us where Cancelo and Walker's mind is at, right? Are they thinking of the big picture of okay, it's fine. There's still more games to go, and we can always come back. Or you know what? Screw this. We've won this league. Let him go and play until he flops. So I want to see how these guys are going to react. And that will show me how we may go through the rest of the season.
Okay, Veta, go ahead. Veta.
Yeah, no, just with regards to Rico, I was just pointing out that
The Rico case.
yeah, you're taking a line out of my next show. So,
Who said that?
No,
Preview.
actually,
Preview to
well,
what
dude, you actually have a show titled The Rico Case.
yeah.
He likes like titles. He likes like titles. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that, bro.
In 15 minutes,
but-
right, Veda? 15
Yeah,
minutes?
in 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Respect. We put a Rico case on Chelsea this past game. But what I want to see from Rico is I want to see him. I want to see him
That's
do.
Veta for you.
Veta, don't get Mike excited. He's driving. Don't get him too
No,
excited.
I know. Keep your hands on the wheel, Mike. Keep
Watch
your
out for
hands
the
on
potholes, Mike.
Yo, Jesus,
Um,
take the wheel.
Go ahead, Veta.
Respect. The skill set from Rico is it's beautiful. It's amazing to see. And to your point, Patrick, when you said how did he kind of slip under the radar, the funny thing is we've got Walker, and even last season we saw Riley, and Riley showed well.
Yeah, he was
So-
good.
Exactly.
Pep
Exactly.
Pep says this boy is incredible. Goodbye.
And now we can see. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let Riley go because now he's got Lewis. You know what I mean?
Good
So,
point.
but a fantastic skill set, and again, the composure, and not only that, but the confidence, because that is what Pep wants. You guys pointed out, Don Smoke. I think many of you, there past seasons. I think even when we've gotten a chance to see behind the closed doors within the locker room, Pep wants to see who's going to show for the ball. And in the latest highest pressure points in the game, who's going to show for the ball? And Rico's showing that. So I don't doubt him from an offensive standpoint, because I love that, because if he's doing that offensively, he's relieving us defensively because we have the ball, right?
Mhm.
So the last test is I love how he fought against Salah, but again, Salah plays on the opposite side. There's a few instances where he would be matched up against Rico.
Son. El
It's gonna
Capitan Son.
It's gonna
Like,
be Son, and if Son doesn't show,
Twice. Son
yeah, that's
twice.
true. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna leave that. That'll be the final exam. Let's see how we deal against
Can
Son.
I ask
Hey
something?
man,
How come
I'm
City
actually
never bought him? How come City never went for this Son? He was on a 1-year contract months ago. You know that, right? He actually extended. We should
nah,
have gone
bro.
for this Son guy, man.
Pochettino was on another
That, that,
level, Pat. Pochettino was on
they're
another
not
level at that time,
to
brother.
us.
Like the fact that they brought in
They're
Dele
not
Alli
to
as
us.
well from MK Dons, you know, it shows the type of recruitment that they had at the time when they had Pochettino. But yeah, bro, I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Rico Lewis and Son,
Rico Lewis
hopefully.
gonna face.
He's frozen. Let me tell Michael he's frozen. Go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that Rico Lewis and Son matchup. But at the same time, man, Egan Riley was not performing the way that Rico Lewis is this season. You know, Egan Riley was just doing the bare minimum, and he wasn't, you know, playing in key games. And Rico Lewis is, and you know, but yeah, though it is what it is. And for me, Rico Lewis has shown me that we could trust him. You know, that's the main point with this young kid. We can trust him. You know, when we need somebody, especially when we got to win against Chelsea. You know, and yeah, I feel like I think he might. You know, I'm gonna be shameless and actually just say I think he might pocket Son. You know, I'm just throwing that out there.
You know what? That Son is the acid test for any fullback that plays for City.
Mm-hmm.
Is because you know what I've noticed about Son? Son is not like Mbappe. I've always tell people Mbappe it's mostly pace and power. So Mbappe will take the ball, right? He will try drop the shoulder, then he'll kick it in front of you, then he'll try beat you for pace. So Mbappe never wins with Walker because if you do that with Walker, he'll find you, he'll catch you. But the thing about Son is he's very unpredictable. Very unpredictable. He can just shift things just like that. And those 1-2s he does with Hurricane. So Son is that acid test, and we're going to play Son twice because now we're playing them twice in the league. Let me just.
You know what? I think Son is more effective actually on a counter attack. That's where he's actually unpredictable, and I think that's the disadvantage that Rico Lewis might actually have because when he comes through into the midfield, he's not in his correct position, which is the right back. So I think that might be the one disadvantage that he might actually have against Son.
The other thing too is Akanji yesterday's second half was just magnificent.
He was. He's had bad games, but he played good yesterday. Yeah, he settled down the nerves.
He ate. Maybe he ate fufu or something. I don't know what he ate.
Carl, bro, the guy is naturally smart. The guy is naturally smart, man. He's intelligent.
Yeah, Jamaican curry goat.
Fufu tax. Fufu tax.
He's intelligent.
No, the difference is this. Akanji played through the center. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly, man.
What I was saying is, if you notice what happened, Stones went as a right center back, and Akanji played through the middle, which is what he was doing
yesterday, man.
This is what he was doing since he came. When he first came, he was playing through the center, and that's when he had his best performances. Whereby later on, Pep moved him to the right to play as similar to almost like a right center back, and that's where, if you notice, he started struggling. So kudos to Pep, man.
Yeah,
guys, can you answer this? There's a question. Do you still have full faith in Pep Guardiola?
100%.
Come on, man. That's even a question.
Is that a question?
Yeah, it's been asked in the comments, so we have to answer.
I mean, who else would we have?
No. Pep give me hard problems, man. Like I can't. Pep stresses me out.
As much as he stresses us out, we know he's still the best around. Like,
he's the best.
The thing is with Pep, it's a love and hate relationship.
Mike, do you think it was funny?
That's the thing with Pep.
Mikey, do you think it was funny how Pep in his conference when he said that I listened to the fans to make the change? Do you think that? What do you think about that? That's funny, yeah.
It's very funny. Like he know what the fan wants, but to me, he's like, guys, that's not the formula. Like what he's seen, like what he's seen in training and behind the scene, he's basically saying to us, you see. Because all right, look at it now. It's Foden who came on. Foden came. What did Foden do? I've been saying this to everybody. Since Foden signed the contract, Foden haven't been playing Foden football. And I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to hate on Foden. It's just facts.
Facts.
So
That's a fact.
the fact that the manager dropped him for Grealish, who people think is not a winger, shows you a lot. It speaks volume. And not that Pep being favoritism because he costs $100 million and he has to
he's got nice calves, yeah.
So that's not the case.
Can I ask you guys a question? Were you guys confident when you actually saw the lineup in the first half?
I wasn't very happy because I thought Bernardo was out of position.
I saw Bernardo at right wing and I wasn't happy.
But Bernardo, Bernardo wasn't out of position.
Other than Bernardo, what were you guys confident of the lineup?
Yeah, I said the lineup is okay. I didn't know that he was going to do a box down the middle and do a forced defender or a forced DM. I think, do you know the issue of that game? Let me be honest with you first half. It's the fact that Rodri was given two things to do. So he had to go into midfield, then jump back into centre back. And guess what Chelsea did? They attacked him. They kept on attacking balls behind him and put a play on him. So that was the issue.
You know what, for me, Pat, for me, Pat, I'm not gonna cap. For when I actually saw, I'm like, for me, I didn't say it was okay. When I actually saw the starting 11, I was actually confident. Like that gave me, I was nervous coming to this game, but when I actually saw the starting 11, I was confident because I expected a 4-3-3. But then when I was watching the game, he was playing the same formation that we used against Liverpool, the game that we lost. That's why I'm saying that this.
It's a 3-1-1.
That is why I'm saying that is why I'm saying that this Guardiola guy, he plays mind games. This guy. That's what I'm saying.
For the past 6 months, I've been talking about this 3-box-3 formation, which I play for my kids, right? And the reason I play is because that's what the academy does. The academy, when they teach us in our training center, they tell us 3-box-3 build up. 5 and 5. They call it 5 and 5. Because you're defending with 5, attacking with 5. The problem with the first half was that your box was made up of the wrong players. If you're going to play a 3-box-3, then play 2 holding and Rodri and Phillips, right? To help the back line. Then you have your 2 10s in De Bruyne and Bernardo up front with the front 3. He got the people in the wrong positions, which is why when he changed it in the second half with Akanji and Rico, everything changes. And Mahrez and Grealish, everything now changes. Mahrez and Grealish are now playing high and wide with Haaland in the middle. Yeah, your 2 10s in Gundogan and De Bruyne pushing up front with Mahrez and Grealish, and then you had Rico and Rodri now sitting in front of the back two with Stones, Walker, and Ake. Stones, Ake, and what's his name, Akanji. And it game changed. The 3-box-3 is all about who you play in those positions. And this is what in the academy they train it. That's what they teach us to do. That's what we do every Tuesday, every Thursday. He just got the players in the wrong positions, and when he changes second half, game changes.
Carl, I'm not gonna cap. I was actually one of the Man City fans. I'm not sure about you guys, but I was one of who was actually happy that he brought this type of lineup. But where I would give Pep Guardiola credit for is that at the same time, even though he did bring this formation, which did make things a bit more difficult, what he exposed about these players is the lack of confidence that they actually have currently right now. That's where the credit I would give to Pep Guardiola, because if you look at Cancelo, he could have done better than what he did. Let's be honest. He didn't have a good first half. Even though he was playing out of position, but at the same time he kept on losing the ball. He wasn't putting in a good cross. Which are basics for a right wing back. And the miscommunication between Kyle Walker and Cancelo also didn't help the situation. And that's where and Phil Foden as well kept on passing the ball back. That's where I'll give credit.
Mikey was correct in saying, hey, maybe we as fans overreacted and the manager knew who was in form and who was not in form. And we saw it yesterday. We saw it yesterday that Walker, Cancelo, and Foden are not yet ready for that level of competition. And maybe Jack and Mahrez were ready.
They need time because at the end of the day, they did crash out of the World Cup. They did crash out. It's not like they went to the final or semi-final. They did crash out of the World Cup.
One thing I love about this channel with Mike.
Let Mike. Go ahead.
Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
No. All I'm saying is that's what Pep spoke about. He when he's doing his interview, he's dropping in a little. They come from the World Cup with problem. Not just injuries, not just niggles, but like it's like they're trying to get over the fact that they didn't win the World Cup. You get what I'm saying? Like they never progressed far. They're probably jet lagged. He's trying to highlight other stuff, and I think they're probably going through other internal stuff that he doesn't want to say that he knows about, and he think they're not focused. And really, I never thought he would play Bernardo because I thought Bernardo's mind would be all over the place with the whole transfer saga. But Bernardo yesterday was exceptional.
He was exceptional.
Guess who is making so many mistakes? I was saying people on Twitter.
De Bruyne.
I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne.
His mispassing is becoming
very bad games. The Everton and no Chelsea, 2 games really bad. He needs a break. He needs to get a rest Sunday.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Patrick, regarding De Bruyne, I've always said this, right? De Bruyne doesn't have good games. He has good moments in games, right? And it's a risk-reward thing with De Bruyne.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's De Bruyne, right?
Yeah.
If you are behind, if there's one person you want in the team, right, who can create a moment.
Calm down, Twisted.
Right.
Go ahead.
Is De Bruyne, but throughout the game, hence I always say that's why you see when he removed Bernardo instead of Gundo, I was worried because I knew past 60 minutes having KDB and Gundo defensively becomes a liability because transition, if they lose the ball, it's just Rodri and whoever's inverted and the back line. That's why we've been conceding as many chances because it's an issue, right? If you're playing an energetic midfield, right, you need Bernardo there. You don't remove Bernardo because he'll give you the legs to cover some ground.
Yeah.
Gundo, KDB in possession, great. Out of possession, liability.
Yeah. And don't smoke. It's a magic of De Bruyne. This is the magic of KDB. People don't understand that he's like a quarterback. Many quarterbacks get intercepted, but when they make that pass and they get it right, it's like stardust.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's just that what I'm worried about is in these 2 games. I think it's good that he has to rest for Chelsea. Is Carl even a close pass, he's making a mistake. A close pass. I don't know if he's tired or I don't know if it's a mental thing.
Patrick,
I think he needs to sit down. Yeah,
KDB can't play 3 games a week. Let's be clear. I don't expect him to play this weekend. He needs to rest and get ready for United. That's it. I guarantee you against United, KDB will flourish because he likes those games.
Nah, he will be back. I'll just
big games. He loves big games.
Yeah, I'll just point to that. Anyway, guys, that's enough of the show. We've done 1 hour 47 minutes.
Amazing.
Thank you very much, CJ, Don't Smoke, Veda Games, Mike. You got to show us gym work. I just registered for the gym this morning, so now I'm motivated to go there. But I'll go there after Veda's show. But anyway, guys, go to Veda's show. Veda Games is doing a show right now. I think it's starting right now. Go and show him some support. Guys, thank you very much. Let's get to 600. We are on 1,594. We were on 92 this morning. We're on 94 now. So let's get to 1,600 and maybe get to 2K and 5K by the end of the year, guys. Thank you very much for your support, guys. We are going to do the lineup show before the City game on Sunday. Then we'll do the reaction after that also. As I said, I've taken holidays, so you're gonna hear the hell out of me as always when I'm holidays. I will make a lot of content and I will burn a lot of bridges. I know I've already burned some on Twitter. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and goodbye.